Hello everybody, thank you for joining this webinar. I am here today to talk to you about real-time speech analytics, a virtual coach for your agents. Let me start to introduce myself first. My name is Niels Richthoff. I am with Enghouse Interactive, and here at Enghouse Interactive I'm a senior solutions delivery specialist. That means I'm in the operations side of things, and my remit is to do rollout design, training, and also I'm involved in support escalations if that needs to happen. I'm going to start I'm going to talk about real-time speech analytics today. Just to let you know, this webinar will be recorded as all previous were, so you will be able to watch that back at a later stage. Why real-time speech analytics? Well, call centers still deserve their bad reputation. I think that is a statement that I can make in this way, and I don't think many will disagree with that. But the question is, why is that? Now, from our point of view, it's less than 5% of calls in call centers are being monitored or reviewed by quality assessment staff. The human quality assessors are always biased. They either know about that or usually they don't know about that. You know, every person, every human being has attitudes towards other people. So even if they don't know that, they will always have personal preferences a lot, and unfortunately, those preferences or this bias will always show in quality assessments. And lastly, agents deviate from their scripts and the best practice, and the reason why scripts exist and why best practice exists is in order to promote quality. So unfortunately, since agents tend to deviate from that, that's where the bad reputation comes in. So, what is it that makes a great call? Now, it's actually quite easy. It's two things. It is what you say, and it is how you say it. The what you say is obviously things of the script or the best practices to make sure that the customer gets the right information that they're asking for, that we're not being rude to them, and that excuse me, and that generally speaking, you know, we're sticking to the facts. And that's been verified by QA people by listening to those calls. Now, with a real-time speech analytics software, you can use phrase recognizers instead and the evaluators to make sure that the agents are saying what they're supposed to be saying. And that's both the required things, so those are the must-have parts of a script, like terms and conditions, or you know, to mention that the call is being recorded, or other legal compliance things, as well as other correct things, you know, maybe upsell potential or things that we generally believe will improve the customer experience in a call, but that aren't strictly necessary to deliver a compliant call, and also don't make any mistakes or saying things that, you know, that are incorrect. And if a customer response is required, such, for example, for opt-in or opt-out questions, then you can use what we call dialogue pairs in order to check that, you know, the question was asked correctly by the agent, and then that the expected answer, like a yes or no or something like that, is given by the customer. And the how you say it, now those are the soft elements. and not so much about the actual script or the words that the agents say, but they are nevertheless very important for the call. So those are things like is the agent speaking in a way that the customer can understand them? Are they speaking too fast or too slow? Is the volume good? So can customers actually hear the agents? And in order to measure those, we have developed a number of soft evaluators, as we call them, to measure the call atmosphere. And there are quite a few. I'm not actually showing you all of those. I'm just the most important ones. Things like speaking rate. Is the agent speaking too fast or too slow? Volume. Is the headset microphone position right? So can the customer actually hear the agent? Stress level. It's a very sophisticated method to measure the stress level of both the agent or the customer. So with that you can see in a call whether the agents are saying something that upsets customers or vice versa. If you're thinking about a complaint hotline, for instance, and you see that certain agents are putting their customers at ease and calm them down much faster than others, then you want to check into how they're doing that. Maybe you can, teach the rest of your agents in using the same methods. Cross-talking, if an agent is constantly interrupting a customer, that's not going to make for great customer experience. So we can measure that, and if there's too much of it, then we can ask the agent to be a bit more proactive in active listening. Speech ratio. Now in this webinar you will find that I'm doing all the talking, so 100% talking on my side is okay, but in a conversation in a call center, that's probably not okay when the agent is the only one who speaks. So you want to be able to measure whether the agent's actually letting the customer have their 2 cents in the conversation as well. And we've got a couple of things around signal quality, dynamic range. That's a more technical thing here. So if you're experiencing some environmental problems with your voice IP traffic or something like that, we can also measure that, and it can help your IT department to pin down problems rather than just relying on hearsay by the agents. So those are the two elements of quality, what you say and how you say it, and with our real-time speech analytics you can measure both. The configuration for that is really very easy. We've developed a tool that allows you to make the configuration without any kind of special knowledge. You don't need any phonetics skills or anything in that. All you need to do is to be able to copy paste or type in your script, and you define the phrases, so the sentences or the bits or pieces that the agents are supposed to be covering in their scripts. And we've developed this traffic light indicator on the right hand side that will show you how well suited a phrase is for speech recognition. Obviously you want one that is deep in the green, so that then later on when the calls happen, that the software has the best chance to really reliably detect the phrases and give your agents the feedback. So once you've configured that, what can you do with it? So first of all, there is a live client, which is what is supporting the agent. So that is running on the workstations in your call center. And as you can see, it's really just a very slim panel that you position on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the screen. You can integrate that into your own software if you like, but you don't have to. We can just give you this panel. And what it does is it sits there, and then when an agent gets a call, it fills with the configuration. In this case, it's a demo configuration that shows the required element of the script. So we need to say that call is being recorded, and we need to mention the right product and so on. It also looks for certain mistakes and gives frowny faces when those are being made, and gives smiley faces when additional nice facts have been mentioned. And as the agent is going through the call and is covering the script, literally the elements will be ticked off and removed from the list. So ideally at the end of the call the list of the required phrases should be empty, and if that's the case then the agent has the confidence that they've delivered a good call and can move on. If they make any mistakes, like I said, they will be shown, so the agent has the immediate ability to rectify that. So if they mention the wrong product, they can correct themselves and say, oh well, actually no, I'm sorry, I meant it's the 2 years contract, and with that make sure that you're not mis-selling anything. And the other output is the analyzer. That is for the quality assessment people. So in this screenshot you see the result of one call. Looks a bit messy, that's true, but you can actually just remove the lines or just show certain lines. In this screenshot we've shown all evaluators, and on the bottom you see the actual recording. And the beauty of this is that your QA people will be shown with evaluations of all calls. They can drill into those where the software tells them that there's a problem, and then within that they can see where the problem occurs. Just highlight that part of the call and listen to it, and that is enormous time saver, because instead of listening to a random sample of calls from start to finish, they can hone in on those where the software says there's a problem, and then within that they can select and just listen to the part that supposedly was the product. If you're using our quality management suite software, QMS, it will not surprise you to hear that RTSA real-time speech analytics is fully integrated with that, and is in that case capable of auto-generating and populating scorecards within QMS. So rather than QA people raising them and filling them all in, RTSA does it for them and sets bookmarks for all phrases, and adds the scores for both hard and soft evaluators. So this was a session about real-time speech analytics. I hope you have enjoyed that. Of course, we are continuing this series of webinars. The next upcoming sessions are on December the 7th, covering workforce management, and in the new year on January the 18th, we will be talking about the quality management suite, the software that I've just talked about. All previous webinar recording, all previous recordings of this webinar and of previous webinars in the series can be found using the URL on the screen, and we will post this recording there in a short while. So if you've got any other questions or would like to get in touch with us, here are my contact details, or just contact Enghouse Interactive through those people that you know already. Let me just check whether, let me just give a final check whether there are any questions that I can answer. And if that's not the case, no, it doesn't seem like it's the case. Ah, all right, okay, so fire away. Well, the real-time speech analytics software has a number of interfaces. So first of all, as I said earlier, you don't need to use our live client. You can just integrate that into your software and use that to tick off things or show the agents that they're on the right track. There's also the ability to integrate the output on the server side, so all the data that's been generated into your own data warehouse. Essentially we are creating data, and you can report on that in whichever way you want. And also there are other integration interfaces for alerting or things like that. If you want supervisor alerting, if certain things go wrong, then you can do that as well. Well, that's the beauty about the software. Although it's very complex on the inside what it does, it really is very easy to use. So the setup on its own is not more than a day, together with your call recorder, etc. And then the training is, well, I would say about 2 days. as long as you know your scripts and know what you want to be looking for. There might be a situation that we need to sit down and have some scoping or some discovery around that. Then it could take a little bit longer, but all in all, the training and the rollout and so on should not be more than 3 days really. Okay, well then, everybody, the 15 minutes are over, so I'll let you get back to your busy day. Thank you very much for attending, and hope to see you next time.